Hey there friends, and welcome to Strive for Savvy, where we talk about all things Kajabi, marketing, and growing your online business. My name is Rebecca Austin, and if you're new to my channel, I welcome you to subscribe so that you can be notified of all of the latest, greatest tips that we put out for you relating to Kajabi and marketing. Today we are in the final video in our 5-part video series where we're talking about search engine optimization in Kajabi. Now the first 4 videos we kind of talked about on-site SEO, technical SEO, backlinks, and off-site SEO, things like that. Today we want to talk about blogging and how blogging relates to search engine optimization. Now this is kind of a bonus video because when I was first planning this video series, we were primarily just talking about the original, the technical side of Kajabi and search engine optimization. And as we were putting it together, this video just kind of naturally fell into place because we want to also think about some basic strategies when we're talking about blogging and how it relates to search engine optimization. And the reason for that is, personally, when I first started in the online realm, I didn't even realize that I was doing blogging completely backwards. And if this is you, you will find this video especially helpful. So this is the case if you are kind of like what I was when I first got started, where I thought that you just had to do blogging because it was part of having a website. And because everybody pretty much says, well, you have to have a blog because it helps you with your content marketing and it's for helping with getting people to your website. Well, that's true, but what exactly does that mean, and how does that apply to creating strategies so that you can make sure you're optimizing that from a search engine optimization perspective? Well, let me explain just a little bit on how that works. When we are looking at search engine optimization, we want to make sure that we are building relevance and authority with the search engines so that when someone is looking for information that we can provide, the search engines will then rank us in such a way that then people have a better chance of finding us from an organic reach perspective. How does that happen? Well, basically, there's a few things we want to do in our blogging that you've probably heard before, which are things like being consistent and with having good quality content that is, longer than just a tiny little short blog, so that there's a lot of words and things like that for the search engines to look at. And that is definitely important things to consider. But the part that I was missing early on, because I was doing my blogging, I was doing it consistently, I was creating really quality blogs that was getting some really good feedback from people who was looking at them, but I wasn't seeing a lot of results from my blogging. And I couldn't understand why there's all these people out there that seemed like they were having so much success from their blogs and getting lots of traffic and really building their content. What were they doing that I was missing? And the missing piece was that I was just writing blogs according to what felt good to me. I was writing articles based off of what came to mind or what I was studying at the time or what I was working on at the time, instead of taking the time to think about what it was that my audience was searching for in search engines so that the search engines could then direct them back to me. So it doesn't really make any sense to write an article that nobody's looking for, even if it's something that is interesting, that really does have lots of value that you're posting consistently. So the step that makes all the difference in the world, which will really help a lot from a content marketing perspective, from an organic marketing perspective, is that you are writing things that your audience is looking for. So how do we know what that is? Well, the best way to do that is to just do a little bit of research on things like keywords and keyword phrases. So if you understand and have kind of an idea of what are the top searches that your niche is looking for, that's what you write about. And that way then you've got a better chance of hitting in those areas. Now there is some strategy to this and some techniques to it. So for example, one tool that I like to use is just simply going to ads.google.com. So if you have a Google account and you've set up a Google ad account, there is a tool right inside Google Ads account that's free. And it is the keyword plan is what it's called. So let me pull this up for you real quick just to kind of give you an idea what this looks like. So this is in Google Ads, and so you just pull this up and you go to the keyword ideas, and I just threw this in here as an example for you where it just says content marketing. But one of the things up here that you'll see content marketing, but one of the things you'll notice is that I provided the keyword content marketing, and this is telling me that the average monthly searches is about 10 to 100,000, but the competition is pretty low. And then it also, of course, talks about, like pricing and stuff like that if I was going to do a Google ad around that. But that's not what I'm interested right now. Right now, I'm looking at what are the is this a valid keyword strategy of something to write about that I could potentially rank in and get some traffic to my site? And so if you're looking at this from a content marketing perspective, if I were to use the keywords content marketing in my title, in my description, in the topic that I'm writing about, I have a much better chance of getting people to come to the site to be able to rank on this particular keywords. So then if you also notice on this particular tool is that there's keyword ideas. So these are some similar searches or searches that kind of went along by relevance. So video marketing might be another one that I might consider looking at. Well, this one is kind of medium competition, and there's 1 to 10,000 searches per month. And so that tells me that even though there's fewer searches, I might have a better, so if I can find a 1 to 10,000 like content strategy, this one has a low competition and still has a really good number of searches that gives me a really good potential of having, this tells me people are looking for content in this, but there's not a lot of competition comparatively speaking for these particular keywords. So this is one tool that you can use. There's a lot of other tools that are out there that you can just do a Google search. There's paid and free tools that you can use. So just do a search on keyword tools and play around with it and just throw some keywords that you think might be interested. So for example, you're thinking about writing a blog on a specific topic, you could throw that into the keyword tool and see what kind of searches that you're getting on that. And if it only shows like 100 searches in a month, well, that's probably not a good option. Or conversely, if there's a lot of people looking for it, but there's high competition, that, like for example, weight loss, you might put in keyword weight loss. There's a lot of competition on that particular keyword, but we could break it down. We could niche down a little bit further and go deeper. So you might want to say weight loss for women over 45, for example. Well, that might be a much more refined niche, and then see what kind of search numbers you're getting. But if you're not getting really good numbers, then why take the time to write the blog about it? It's not going to do what it's intended to do, which is to build your relevance and authority with search engines and to help drive traffic to your site. Now, of course, you always want to have other strategies that we've talked about in the past on things like always having a call to action, always having the next step in their journey for someone who actually does get to your blog or your website. But in order to get them there from a content marketing and a search engine optimization perspective, we want to make sure we're writing about the right things. So that was the missing link that I was missing years ago. And when I made the switch, when I actually took a little bit of time and started doing research on what it was people were looking for, it was amazing the difference. So try it for yourself, see what you think. If you've missed the first 4 videos in this series, I'll put a link up here or somewhere up here for you to the playlist with all of the videos available in there. Part 1, we talked about the on-site SEO strategies inside Kajabi. So that's a really, really good one to make sure that you're paying attention to all of the things when you're building your Kajabi site to maximize that for search engine optimization. And then of course we've got technical SEO, we've got off-site SEO, lots of really good stuff to help you with building your content marketing strategy, your search engine optimization strategy, and your organic reach. So enjoy those videos, implement them. Of course, anything that you learn, it's not going to do you any good unless you actually put it into practice. So I challenge you to go into your site and start making some of these changes and experiencing what these changes can do for you. Now, on our next video, we're going to go back to sales pages and go back into those strategies for an effective sales page. So be sure to check out the next video. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, be sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you won't miss when we post those next videos. And we can help you with building your Kajabi site and your Kajabi business. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.